All right, here we go. Day one. Yay! Again, welcome to the 31-day Soaring into Self-Care and Mental Wellness in September challenge. Day one. Here we go. You ready? I know you're like, what are we doing day one? It will seem so simple to you. You're going to be like, this is what we doing day one? This is what we're doing day one. Because day one, I want you to learn how to take a pause. I want you to learn how to take a time out. I want you to put yourself in the corner for a minute. Listen, we're going to learn how to breathe correctly today. Why? Because there are times when life is just lifing, and it's going to do that. There are times when your children just being your children, whether they're young children or adult children, they just being your children. There are times when you want your husband to just leave you alone. There are times when your job is getting on your very last nerve. You can't control what happens out here. You can only control what happens here. So as we go through day one of our self-care and mental wellness challenge, 31-day challenge, 31 days. Here's the first day. We're going to learn how to calm within. Here's why this is so important. I know I shared on Facebook a few months ago when I took my hormone test, and I felt good. Like I was out here doing my thing. Oh yes, I was being great. And my hormone doctor says, Tracy, why are you stressed? I was like, Doc, I'm not stressed. And he's looking at me like, listen, my hormones told the truth. I felt fine. My hormones told on me. I was living my best life. My hormones said, no, you ain't. Here I am doing everything only to find out that I've been stressed. So much so that my adrenal glands have taken a time out for themselves. Okay? So what I've done for myself, ever since that day I met with my doc and my hormone doc, I said, okay, every 90 minutes, I'm going to take a pause. Every 90 minutes, I'm going to shut the world out and I'm going to focus on me. Okay? Here's how I do it. And I want to share this with you because this is the first day of the challenge. I want you to set a timer on your phone. You can do it every 30 minutes, every 60 minutes, every 90 minutes, every 120 minutes. However you want to set your timer. But I want you to set a timer. I want you to interrupt what you're doing. Yes, I want you to do that. I want you to interrupt what you're doing, and I want you to breathe, to simply breathe. And here's how we're gonna do it. So it's called box breathing, and this is how I do it. Every 90 minutes, a timer goes off on my phone. If I can do it, I do it. There are times when I can't because I may be in a meeting or somewhere. Even if I'm in the car driving, I can still do it. If I'm in the line at the grocery store, I can still do it. If I'm sitting in a meeting and the meeting is super boring, they don't know that I'm doing box breathing. You can't see it. I'm not going, no, that ain't it, because that's breathing wrong anyway. But here's what we're gonna do. It's called box breathing. We're gonna do a 4x4 breath. Some of you will be able to take deeper breaths, and I'm gonna show a modified version of that for those of you who can take a deeper breath. But for those of us who want to take the 4x4 box because it's just easier to do, here's how we do it. We breathe in to 4 counts, we hold for 4 counts, we exhale for 4 counts, we hold for 4 counts. So think of it as a box. You breathe for 4, hold it for 4, exhale for 4, hold it for 4. Does that make sense? It's a 4x4 box. So here's why this is so important. Your body doesn't know that when you are stressed, you're not being chased by a lion. It doesn't know that. When you are stressed, your body releases cortisol. Your blood pressure automatically goes up because it thinks it needs to pump blood to your legs, your thighs, and your hips so you can start running. Here's the thing. You're sitting down at your desk. And so all of that cortisol, all of that rushing blood gets right here. And for those of you who know me and follow me on Facebook, you know what I've named this tummy area. Tina had been showing up. Tina started making an appearance back in May. I was like, wait a minute, where Tina coming from? I got rid of Tina. I did. But I remember I started having a little bit more stress in my life back in May. So by the time I took my hormone test in July, that's when I realized that's why Tina had been showing up, because I was stressed and I was sitting when I was stressed. So let's practice this 4x4 breathing, because here's what it does. Number one, it helps to lower your blood pressure. Number two, it helps to reduce your cortisol. Number three, it helps to clear your mind so you can think. Here's what happens when you're stressed. Your brain loses air. Think about that for a second. Your brain loses air. Why? Because all of your air is now coming away from your brain and into your lungs so you can run. Not only that, but when you're operating out of stress, the prefrontal cortex, which is the thinking part of your brain, goes offline, because what's more important is keeping you alive. So now you're operating from the back part of your brain, which is the part of the brain that keeps you alive. Again, your brain doesn't know you're being frustrated by your kid. Your brain doesn't know that you're being frustrated on the job. Your brain doesn't know that somebody just cut you off in traffic. Your brain doesn't know any of that. It just knows that you're stressed. So it's sending you the cortisol, the adrenaline, and putting the extra emphasis on your legs, your hips, your thighs to get you out of danger. This 4x4 breath is going to help calm you down. That's why this is what I want you to learn first, because as we go through the next 31 days, this is where we start. We start by being in control of what we can control, and that's us. So here's how I want you to do it. I want you to simply practice this way. 4 breaths in, hold it for 4. 4 breaths out, hold it for 4. Here we go. Ready? Hold it. Exhale for 4. Hold it. Inhale for 4. Hold it for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold it for 4. Simple as that. You can do that at your desk. You don't have to close your eyes every time you do it. You can do that if you're out walking. You can do that when you're at the grocery store. You can do that sitting in a meeting. You can do that when your kids are driving you nuts. You can do it anywhere. A simple 4x4. You notice that I wasn't doing any of that. It's a simple inhale and exhale. Now, here's what I also want you to focus on as you go through the next 31 days. When we breathe, we have a tendency to breathe from here. An inhale breath should actually expand your stomach, and an exhale breath should actually take your stomach back towards your spine. It's hard at first, but the more you practice, the easier it gets. Deep breaths are not from your chest, they're actually from your midsection, your belly area. So when you're doing your inhale, you should be inhaling to where the belly expands out. You're holding for 4, and then you're releasing for 4. And as you're releasing, your belly should go back towards your spine. Listen, simple. You can do these 4x4 breaths anywhere. Now, here's a modified version. For those of you who are a little bit more adventurous, you can do a 4-7-8. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8, hold for 4. So it's 4-7-8-4. Some people who practice yoga on a regular basis have more lung capacity, and they're able to do the 4-7-8-4. So that would be an inhale for 4, Hold for 7. Exhale for 8. Hold for 4. Again, inhale for 4. Hold for 7. Exhale for 8. Hold for 4. Now, here's what I want to know, sis. Are you going to practice these deep breathing exercises? It's day 1. Don't fall off already. I know it seems simple, but you've got to train your mind and your body on how to calm down. Life is going to life, but what you're responsible for is how you show up. 4x4 deep breathing, that's the first lesson of this 31-day challenge. Let me know. How did it go? We're going to come back tomorrow for another challenge for day 2. I want you to practice day 1. Don't forget your timer, sis, because this is where we start.